everybody. Happy Tuesday. Can you believe we are nearly at the end of July? I'm like, what is going on this year? It's like every time is going so fast. It's just crazy. Also, you may have seen all my excitement in this Facebook group over the last week, I think. I had something planned that I was going to launch in September. And I was talking to a very close friend of mine and she was like, just do it, just do it. And so I changed my mind and thought, let's just do this. And it starts on the 1st of August, started chatting with you ladies about it. I think it was the middle of last week. And I have nearly 20 women that have joined my new beautiful space that I've created. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, look through the recent live videos I've done, but I have launched Healthy Empowered Women's Society. Healthy Empowered Women's Society is new. It starts on the 1st of August. It is an amazing opportunity for you if you've ever wanted to work with me before, if you have health goals, if there's things that you are wanting to change in your life, but you're feeling really stuck, if you're wanting to up level in how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, this is for you. And guess what? It is so affordable. It is literally cheap as. And the reason why I've done it is because I want to be able to support and help women such as yourself that are really needing more of a gentle push and also needing a lot more knowledge. What I'm really finding is I'm getting to work with some amazing ladies who come and see me for nutrition and mindset coaching, which I love, so passionate about it. It just lights up my world. And I'm very lucky because I attract the most amazing clients, beautiful women that are really ready to make those changes. Well, what I hear all the time, what I hear so often is that there's confusion about what to eat, confusion about how to live, confusion about how to change things. And that is the reason why I have created Healthy Empowered Women's Society, so that we can have a place where we can get together and we can debunk some of the stuff that's going on. So if you've got some crazy things that you've learned in your past, we can really nut that out. We can get clear on our goals as well. So I find myself, I love having accountability and support if there's things that I know that I'm not as good at. So obviously food is not my thing and lifestyle, but there's other parts of my life that I don't I'm not 100% great at. So not that there is such thing as 100%, but you know what I mean. So I feel like it's going to be amazing. And like I said, I've already got some amazing ladies that have joined. If you would like the details, we will pop them in the comments. And the thing is, if you're in the top 20, so I think there's only a couple of spots left. If you're in the top 20 for joining, you also get, here we go. You also get the Improve Yourself Cleanse valued at $97 included. So you can cleanse with me, guided cleanses, or cleanse on your own anytime this year or next year. It's absolutely fantastic value. And the Healthy Empowered Women's Society is to support you. So if you find that you come to my lives on Tuesday nights or you're in the Facebook group and you're getting some stuff out of it, imagine what you would get if you're part of the Healthy Empowered Women's Society. It's so, oh my God, amazing. Okay, I am excited about it. And I feel like I have enough energy for everybody. So I'm going to share that with you all. How is everybody who is on live with me? Please pop in the comments if you are here live and if you are going to be joining me tonight because you want to know what is going on. So apparently people are trying to see my live. Can you let me know? Can you please comment if you are joining me? Don't know what is going on with the, should be there. Oh, okay. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Sharon. Woohoo. Sharon has joined Healthy Empowered Women's Society. Woohoo, Sharon. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait to do this with you. It's going to be so good. And I'm hoping, Natasha, you're going to jump in and join us in Healthy Empowered Women's Society as well, which would be so amazing. Okay, good. So you can see me and you can hear me. That's the main thing, because tonight's topic is something that I think that is bothering all of us at the moment. First of all, I have to tell you, I got a doozer power bill. Now, one of my kids moved out at Easter, so there's really only 3 of us in the house. Yes, I work from home, but I'm not putting the heater on during the day. I've got my blankets and beanies and whatever I need. And I don't know, I don't see where all the power bill comes from. We've just recently got a brand new wash machine and dryer because ours were 12 years old, which I think lasted pretty good time, and then they died. So we've gone and spent a bit more than we wanted to on our dryer and wash machine. The dryer is actually 8 stars and the wash machine I think was 5. So I'm hoping that that was going to bring down my power bill, but my power bill, oh my God, is massive. So I feel a bit yicky about it. I'm like, how are we supposed to afford the cost of living if we get hit with these kind of power bills? Hey, Denise, how are you? Thank you for joining. So ladies hopping on, I just wanted to recap. If you are not aware of it, please read through the Facebook group here. Healthy Empowered Women's Society was launched on the weekend just in this Facebook group, and now it's going to be launched everywhere else. I literally had to answer so many messages about it. I've got lovely, beautiful women that have joined because they are ready to take their health and well-being to the next level. They're ready for support, some knowledge, but in a nice, gentle way. So nothing that's overwhelming or too much or really heavy commitment, just enough where you can be able to really dip your toe into a healthy way of living. So if you are interested in that, I'm just going to, here are the details. I'm going to pop it in the comments and just click on the link in the comments here. And check it out and tell me what you think. Is it something that you're interested in? If you have any questions, please let me know. I am now going to share my screen with you. I tell you why. I do this with my clients as well. I'm visual. I love pictures and I love to be kept interested. Otherwise, I get really, really bored. But anyway, if anyone wanted to share if they've had a big power bill lately and how that has gone, how everyone's feeling about it. And if anyone's brave enough to share, I'm happy to share mine cost, my bill. I'm thinking that it's got to be a mistake. But anyway, I'm going to share my screen with you. Please keep commenting and I will keep checking the comments to make sure that I can read everything that you are there. Before I do, I just wanted to check, has anybody got anything that they would like to share about tonight's topic? So tonight's topic, how to food shop on a budget. Has anyone got tried and true things that they've done that they would love to share right now at the start? Is there things that you have figured out that worked really well for you and that you would like to share? Please pop that in the comments as well, because I believe that what you all have to bring is super powerful. I learn from people all the time, and I do this as a job. Like, this is my passion, my purpose. I'm always doing research, learning, researching, furthering my studies, and I still learn from everybody else. And I think there's so much to learn. So please pop in the comments if you do have any tips or techniques or things that you do. And I'm going to share my screen with you. Hopefully it's showing and you can see a picture of me in front of you. I'm just going to double check. Sharon says shop early in the day. Yep. Is that because you can see more specials early in the day? Like first thing in the morning? Is that what you mean? Yeah, just wanted to check what you mean exactly, but shop early in the day. All right, cool. Yes, keep bringing in your tips, tricks, things that work for you as we go through this. So come on, computer. I think everybody knows me, but if you don't, my name's Melissa Wilkes, and we've had a lot of new, beautiful, empowered, healthy women join this Facebook group. So just if you are new to the group, my name's Melissa Wilkes. That's a picture of my family. Hubby and I have been together since I was in high school. Oh my gosh, I know, crazy. I run so many things. I'm a big event person. I love meeting up with women and sharing all the things I'm passionate about. I do run cooking classes. The biggest thing I do is nutrition and mindset coaching. I do that in group environment or private one-on-one. And now I run the Healthy Empowered Women's Society, which starts on the 1st of August. So check out the details about that. And I also run retreats, and I've got a retreat coming up in October, Goddess Retreat. Been running these in Perth for 6 years, hoping to run one next year overseas, but we'll see, because I just think everything's a bit up in the air. And I do it because I find that when women are together, they do some pretty amazing things. And when we remove ourselves from the home, from the responsibilities, the chaos, the busyness, we really can step into some pretty powerful, amazing experiences. And the way I run my retreats is it's personal development, it's nutrition development, it's self-care, luxury, and it's time out. So it's pretty full on retreat. You have so much that you can take from it. And what I find is most women feel transformed after. And that was something that I really wanted to share with women, is an opportunity to be able to transform, be able to cut some of the things that are holding you back. So I'm trying to see all the messages. Let me have a look. I don't want to miss them. I've learned to substitute veggies for other veggies. Ooh, I'd love to know more about that. Don't shop hungry ever. Oh, Tani, you're probably, I think you've actually hit the nail on the head, like absolutely. And by the way, Tani is my trainer. So I need accountability when it comes to exercise. She's my girl. So just as I have clients that need me to keep them accountable for food, she keeps me accountable for movement. So if you live in the northern suburbs in Perth, let me know, because she is an amazing trainer. But 100% spot on, don't shop when you're hungry. And what else have we got here? If I go after breakfast, I'm not so tempted to buy snacks or junk food. Again, yes, shopping when you're not hungry is a good one. Denise, I've been living on a budget all my life. It's just sort of life for me. I count my blessings. So is that because it's, Denise, is that because it's the norm for you, or you feel more safe and secure with a budget? You like to know your numbers and everything? That's something I'd love to know a bit more about. Hey, Amanda, how are you? Missed you, Amanda. Amanda didn't get to come to our last Healthy Empowered Women session in person. So Joe, menu plan and take a list. Ooh, yes, absolutely. Hey, Nikki. Awesome. So glad you can join. Nikki interviewed me in her Facebook group last week, and we talked about how food and lifestyle can affect mental health. So if anyone's interested in finding out more about that, let me know, and I can give you the link for the recording from me and Nikki. So, oh, good, Amanda. I'm glad you are all good. I love menu planning. Do you? So some people love menu planning and some people just really don't. I think these days everyone has to budget a bit more. Everything is getting so expensive. It is, and then there's a ways around it, which I want to share with you, but I want you to keep sharing your tips as well as I go through this, because there are things that I don't know, and there's things that we can share. And this is the whole point of having communities like this, is that we can share ideas, with each other and really be able to, you know, make changes and figure out what suits. So not everything suits. When I don't love meal planning. Exactly. So some people don't. And there's when I teach my clients, in my nutrition mindset coaching, when I teach them about menu planning, I make sure that menu planning works for you. So I don't make you plan the way I plan. I show you different ways of planning. I actually do some of it with you. We do cooking club, we do menu planning there. But if you are a stay-at-home mum, or if you like to not have to have a bit of excitement around your dinner and you don't want to have it planned out, or you want stuff to be cooked fresh, then there's ways that we can still menu plan, but we tweak it and we change it and we do it so that it suits you. Because, and the other thing is not to get stuck on the same thing. Cooking the same food or doing the same thing is, you know, we do have to try new stuff. So another thing is I find we do get stuck in creating the same meals, and it's so boring. Who wants to do that? I love excitement. I want lots of excitement with my food. Hubby and I are big, we're gourmet foodies. Like, we love our food, but I don't want to spend ages in the kitchen. I don't want to spend a fortune on it. So it's really figuring out ways that we can do that. So that's why I wanted to share with you tonight. Rebecca, hello. Oh, Rebecca lives not too far from me. I need to get myself organized with my diet. Yes. Well, that is the best thing about tonight's session, because I'm actually going to cover that tonight, because this is actually an opportunity. So I'll explain myself in a minute. Denise, I've never had big money coming in, and now I've been on my own for 26 years. I have to budget more, part of my life. Yeah, we are spoilt in Australia. You know why we're spoilt? Because we have to have everything so gourmet fancy, right? And it has to be a certain way. I know. Natasha, always up for new, quick, healthy recipes that my family will love. Well, you'll get some recipes when you join Healthy Empowered Women's Society. So like I said, it's a great way. Join that if you have been wanting to work with me and you haven't had an opportunity to do that yet. This is the next best option. And I know you ladies are going to love it. So keep commenting, and I'm just going to get started because I'm mindful of your time. So times are tough for some of us, or what I like to think of, because I feel like if we think that way, it's quite a negative conversation or negative language that we have in our mind, that, you know, conversation, that story we're telling ourselves. How about we reframe it and think of it as we have things we would prefer to spend in money on? Yes, I love that. Who likes that? Well, let's reframe it. Instead of saying times are tough, how about we think about how we have things we would prefer to spend our money on? Now, when I say that, I don't mean don't spend money on food, because I tell you where all my money goes on. It goes on food, because I love food. But on a serious note, I do think we need to invest in food if we want to invest in our health, but I don't think it needs to be an expensive thing. And I think there are ways to still eat like a gourmet eater like I do without it being really, really expensive. And I think that what we do is we get an idea of how food's supposed to look and how food's supposed to taste. And, you know, if we want to eat healthy, it's very boring or very bland. And I'm none of that. I'm not boring. I'm not bland. Oh, no, I mean my food. Just joking. All right. So how can we save some money when it comes to food expenses? All righty. Think about this. This is an opportunity for us to have a healthy life. What do I mean? If we start looking at where we're putting our money in our whole areas of our life, so not just in the food, but in all areas of our life, we start to see where our money goes compared to where our values and priorities are. So when people say to me, health is my top priority. Health is it's like one of my top values. It's super important to me. And they budget $50 a week on food, but they buy things that are totally unnecessary. You know, that could be, everyone's different. So we all obviously are entitled to spend our money however we choose. And I'm not saying don't, but have a look at where you're spending your money and how you're spending it. So if you're buying takeaway coffees and they amount to, say, $20 to $40 a week, because I think they do these days, is that a good choice of spending money? And I say takeaway coffees because everybody buys takeaway coffees. I don't, but everybody does. I don't because I'm a fussy coffee drinker. So if you think about something like that, is it something you want to do? Is it something that you get a lot of enjoyment out of? Then do it. But if it's something that you could actually give up and make your coffee at home and save that $20 to $40 that you've been spending, you know, maybe buy a juice with it, or maybe buy something to go along with it, is there money that you could save there? So the first thing really when we talk and think about budgeting is, how about we look at all the areas where we're spending money, not just on food? Because I hear a lot about, oh, healthy food's so expensive. Yet if I looked at your shopping trolley, could I turn around and find things in there that you actually don't need? Or, you know, not that I'm going to be going through your shopping trolley, but you know what I mean? Or is it that what's actually happening is you are choosing to spend money in other areas that aren't actually in line with your goals? Because if your goals are that you want to be healthier, if your goals are you want to have more energy, the goals you want to feel better, where is the money going that is actually going to support that, if that makes sense? Just going to check for comments. Buy fruit and veg season so much cheaper. Absolutely. Yeah, being a single parent is super hard, especially when you've got kids. My 14-year-old is eating about, we reckon, about 6 to 7 meals minimum a day. So I think some of it, the problem is, one, he's having a huge growth spurt this year. And also he trains and exercises and goes to the gym every day. Like, he literally doesn't sit still. If he's got free time, he's generally playing basketball out the front. I can't get him to sit still. So he's eating huge amounts of food, but at the same time, we've figured out how to make it work, and he eats good food. So I can't really complain. Ooh. Sorry. Okay. So first thing is work out your budget. How much money do you have to spend each week? How much would you prefer to spend? And where do you currently shop? So I'd love to hear where everyone currently shops, if you feel okay with it. So that's kind of the first thing. And then also, I think that the way to not have a big emotional connection to this, so that it doesn't stress you out, get you upset, get you overwhelmed, or create issues with your relationship with food, because we can have issues with our relationship with food if it's connected to money, because money generally is an emotional exchange. So have a look at it. And if your budget's 200 and you spend 215, it's not the end of the world. If your budget's 50 and you spend 80, you know, figure out what areas of your life you can make work. And hopefully the tips you're going to get tonight will help in those things. I want to point out something super important. This is super important. This is super important because a lot of the women that come to me with health issues is because they're living a life of takeaways, processed food, not real food, packaged food. And what they're experiencing is some pretty hefty health issues. So when we think about how we don't want to spend lots of money on food, or takeaway is cheaper, we need to consider also what are we giving our body that is nutrients? What are we giving our body as fuel? Because if you choose to cut costs and buy takeaway because you think buying a Big Mac meal for, I actually have no idea how much Big Mac meals are. I haven't been and bought McDonald's or Hungry Jack's or anything for about 10, 15 years. But I'm guessing it's around $5. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have no idea. Is it? I have actually no idea. You're going to have to tell me. People think that that is what's cheaper, but there's ways around it, which obviously we're covering tonight. If you don't spend the money on your health now, you will spend it in the future. If you are trying to cut corners with food and you're buying packaged food because you think it's going to save you time, it won't save you time in the future when you feel like crap, when you have no energy, when you're tired, when your body's inflamed, when it has no fuel to give you to move. So we need to consider what we're choosing as food and how it's making us feel. I hit the nail on the head with takeaway coffee. Yeah, I know. And, you know, maybe Natasha, that as a single mum, and, you know, knowing that you are a big nurturer and carer and you're doing everything for them, maybe that's your thing, you know, that's that thing, that bit of self-care, in that you can love yourself with that coffee and have your quiet time. So you have to weigh it up, but maybe you could cut it out, cut some of it out. So it's just a treat sort of thing. It's something you do on the weekends or on a Friday, and it's not an everyday thing, and really work out whether the money side of things change. Never do I buy coffee takeaway. It always seemed like a waste of money to me. Sharon, I was the biggest coffee takeaway drinker ever. And I tell you what, I'm so fussy on coffee. When I buy takeaway coffee, it generally gives me an upset tummy. And I'm actually going to show you ladies why it gives me an upset tummy. And I wouldn't be surprised if it gives a lot of you an upset tummy. Rebecca, I cook for myself as I make meals for my husband to freeze, but I need food to cook on the day for myself. And not just pick at stuff. My daughter is a really bad eater too. Budget isn't really an issue. Oh, Rebecca, like, yeah, have a look at whether Healthy Empowered Women's Society is for you. And I'm happy to support you, because I can come up with so many ideas with all that stuff that you have just mentioned there. That's the sort of stuff that I teach women. Yeah. And what I find is women, we pick, but there's reasons why we do that. We pick food. Takeaway helps save time more than money. Okay, 100% understand what you're saying, but I will say, when it comes to takeaway, you think it saves you time, but it won't in the future. And if you don't, you might even find that it's actually taking up your time now, because you're not looking about how your body's inflamed. Takeaway food is creating inflammation in the body. So you're not going to have the energy, and you're not going to feel as good as you could if you weren't eating takeaway food. And when you have high energy, you have time, because you can do everything. When I've got high energy, like a bunny, because I can be really high energy like a lot of times, especially when I'm really looking after my health, I can smash out clean the whole house, do like 2 days worth of work in a couple of hours. So it really depends how you're fueling your body. You need to be thinking about that. Just start thinking about, I'm buying takeaway or I'm buying processed food because I'm saving time and I'm short of time. But if you actually look at what you do in a day, you'll see that there is time. Plus, I can generally beat an Uber Eats delivery or someone driving through the drive-through with a meal. I'm literally, and I honestly think that the takeaway food is like just such crap quality. I'm feeling very tired and lethargic at the moment, looking for easy options. Yep. So when we, yes, Natasha, it'll still be in here tomorrow. And all these videos are going to be getting uploaded into the Healthy Women Empowered Women's Society. So if you do join the Healthy Empowered Women's Society, you can go back and watch all these videos at any time, which is going to be awesome, because there's so many. I've been doing lives in here in this Facebook group for 2 years. So there's lots in there, and all my guest speakers. It's just going to be that much stuff that you can watch and learn. So it's going to be really, really great. Yeah, anyway, look at me. I've just realized the time and I'm chatting too much and I'm losing track. So I'm going to probably upset a few of you. And I really hope you understand what I am saying is out of the kindness of my heart. And it is also from my own personal experiences, and sometimes still do. So please don't take offense. I'm saying this with all the love and kindness within me. All right. So I hope you don't feel triggered or charged. And if you do, please reach out to me after and you can send me a message. Could you be overeating? If you are eating foods that aren't nutrient dense, that are not a good amounts of fats, carbs, and proteins, you probably don't feel full. Or if you're eating a lot of sugary foods, processed foods, you don't feel full because they aren't actually satisfying the body. And so then we want to eat more, and we want to eat more, and we want to eat more. So you could be overeating. And if you are overeating, there's extra costs. Just saying. The other thing is, we as women are very emotional creatures. Let's be honest, put your hand up. Are you emotional? Come on. You are sometimes. I know you are, because I am. We all are, right? No matter how balanced I think I am with my emotions, I still find myself having my emotional moments. We're emotional. We can be emotional about how stressed we are. We can be emotional how worried we are. We can be emotional about what's happening in our lives. And what happens? We feel voids in our body. We feel emotions coming up. We feel anxious. We feel all these feelings and emotions, and they're really overwhelming. And sometimes we can't deal with it, or we don't know how to. You haven't learned yet. And so what we do is we eat. We eat to fill those voids, and we eat to feel those emotions. And what happens is we end up overeating. So that's something to consider if you hopefully haven't taken that the wrong way. Could you be overeating? That is something to consider and think about, if I haven't hit a nail on the head. So I guess takeaway doesn't always fall under junk food. Junk food is anything out of a packet, really. Have a look at the numbers. If this is what you mean, Amanda, have a look at the numbers. I mean, a lot of those curries in a jar, especially pasta bakes in a jar, they're full of food that isn't real. There's not much in there. And if you've ever watched any of my lives where I've gone and walked around the supermarket and you've seen the gravy, there's no gravy. There's no meat juices in there. That is all processed fake food. So that is junk food. That is stuff that is going to make you sick. I'm glad no one's told me off for my could you be overeating, but you're welcome to send me a message if I have upset you. I'm happy to talk it out. Don't buy takeaway food for myself. My daughter has McDonald's once a week. I love nice, healthy food, but don't get around to it. Excessive up, don't fuel my body correctly. Sometimes a takeaway coffee and a banana for breakfast. Don't eat when I'm emotional. It's the opposite. Yep. Okay. So what can happen is we can focus on one area and skip others. So we can focus on movement and exercise and forget about the food. And if you are wanting to get healthy, fit, toned, all that stuff, it happens in the kitchen first. 70 to 80% of this, and I'm not just talking about the outside, how you look, but the whole body, how it's functioning, is food. So if 70 to 80% of how you are showing up every day is food, that is something to consider, right? Whether you're budgeting or not. Are you talking about those kids of things? Okay. So I'm chattering too much. This is why considering about things like spending money on takeaway coffees may be actually not in your best interest anyway, because the quality of food is the same as whether we want to be healthy or not. Looking at the fact that a lot of the almond milks that you see the cafes using, or you might be actually buying it and using it in your house. I know Milk Labs are really big. A lot of people are buying it because it's cheap. But have a look, it's only got 3.5% almonds in there. The second ingredient, sugar. So the first ingredient was whatever that has the most of. The last ingredient is what it has the least of. So the second ingredient is sugar. That's got a lot of sugar in there. Then you've got sunflower oil, which can be disrupting to the gut. You've got maltodextrin, which will generally eat holes in your gut lining. You've got additives in there and preservatives in there. That's a lot of additives in there. Do you want to be drinking something that's got 5 additives? Drink a coffee that's takeaway and they have Milk Lab, and then have a look at the signs. Are you getting bloated? Are you getting a headache? Do you feel fuzzy? Do you feel tired? Have you got itchy skin? Have a look at the milk. Almond Breeze. What is that in there? Oh, it's only 2.5% almonds. When we mix water and almonds, what do we get? This really weird color. So let's chuck in some ground limestone. As soon as we chuck in some ground limestone, we can make our almond milk look like it's got almonds in it, even though it only has 2.5% almonds. Some of the almond milks are actually mainly made from rice. So you're actually drinking rice milk and you don't even know it. So the quality of the food makes a difference to how we're feeling. So when we're looking at budgeting, decide where you're spending your money. Where is it going? If you're cutting corners on food, people will look at me and go, how much does she spend? I bet you any money I don't spend that much more than most people, even though we're big foodies and I'm a nutrition coach. You will find that I actually eat and don't spend as much money. I'm in the middle of cooking club at the moment, so the amount of money I'm spending is actually better than normal because I'm sticking to a very strict plan because I'm cooking for the whole week. Bulk batch cooking. What do I mean? Whenever you cook one meal, double it, make more. Or if you've got some free time, make a few meals. It's not hard. It is not hard to make more than one meal at once. If it is hard, then there's a reason why. You need to do some cooking lessons. You need to learn how to make things that are tasty that don't have heaps of ingredients in it. You shouldn't need stacks and stacks of ingredients. Look at how you can make multiple meals. I love flavor, but I'm not using anything that's not real food to flavor my food. I want real food to flavor my food. I have oat milk in my coffee. Yep, so I would be very careful with oat milk. It can be an inflammation food, so that's something to consider as well. I know oat milk is super fashionable, but I'm finding a lot of people having huge reactions with it. I know I don't understand enough about food. I know, because nobody teaches you, and you can't make money off you if you know about food. How can we make money off you? How can we sneak MSG into your food and have you addicted to our packet of chips if you knew how to read the label? They don't want you to know. The government doesn't want you to know. I mean, the Australian government regulations on food is one of the worst. I think we're second. The UK is the worst. It's crazy, the regulations in Australia that you would not even think of. So have a think about how you can make one meal and how it can go into 2 meals so that you're never in the kitchen once. So when I was doing the preparation for Cooking Club on Sunday, I actually was chopping up all the veggies ready to do Cooking Club. So Cooking Club I do with my clients. And what we do is for 4 weeks, we create 5 dinners and we cook it in an hour to an hour and a half, the 5 dinners. So I show people how you can cook 5 meals in an hour to an hour and a half. So it's not hard. I teach my clients how to do this and I try and make it fun. Hubby and I have a bit of a banter and it's all live in our kitchen and you're in your kitchen cooking. What I did while I was chopping up veggies for Cooking Club, I also chopped up some more stuff. I chopped up some sweet potato and pumpkin and put it in containers so that during the day when I'm at home in the air fryer, I'm chucking in my broccolini, I chucked in my sweet potato, my pumpkin, my carrot, and what else did I chuck in there? Some zucchini. And then I put a little bit of my gut healing 𝒕𝒓𝒊𝒄𝒆 mayonnaise in there on the top. And I had my beautiful air fryer veggies. It was so good. Anyway, I'm getting off track. My point is, when you're chopping, chop more than one thing, but just make sure it's not going to waste. Share the cooking. Who else can cook with you as well? I shouldn't have put a picture with wine glasses. I'm doing dry July. I'm not a huge drinker, but I do drink with hubby on the weekend, have a drink on a Saturday night, and that red wine's looking pretty good. I drink organic, preservative-free red wine most of the time, and I haven't had one for 3 weeks. I'm doing really good. Anyone else doing dry July? So share the cooking. The other thing is, if someone else is cooking and you're cooking, how can you batch it together? Or if you're cooking, how can you share your meals with somebody else? So if you've got family members, could they cook a meal and you cook a meal and then you share halves of it? Can you actually go to family members' houses to eat dinner as well? Can you share that? So someone cooks one night and you cook another night. I know I used to do that a lot. We used to, when hubby and our kids were younger, we would go to parents' house for dinner and they would come to ours. So you didn't feel like you're always cooking meals. So there's other options of how can you share the cooking load and how can you share meals to kind of try and cut costs there. Bulk food buying. I honestly, there's a couple of places I go, like a 𝒕𝒕𝒖𝒄𝒆 or Source Bulk Foods, Costco. And what I do is when I can, I budget for it. I put the money away, and then when I've got a certain amount, I'll go and buy it in bulk, and it's cheaper. And I have a different area that I put it in, and I then can start to build up my supplies. So when something is on special, I'll buy it. So I go and buy my food from different places, depending on what it is. If something is on special, I will buy like 5 to 10 of it. I'll always check the expiry date. So please always check it. And if you're like me and you put things in jars and move things into glass and out of plastic, write the expiry date on the back. How can you buy bulk? And if you are looking at something and it's expensive, or you're at Costco and it's in a big pack, who can you go halves with? So you can do that. Who can you go halves with in that? And if you don't want to buy a Costco membership, who can you go halves with in a Costco membership? You can go shopping with somebody once a month or once every 2 months, and then you can bulk buy that way. So that's an option as well. Is chopping up all veggies when you buy them ready for the week okay? Does it last as long? Good for you doing dry July. I think a lot of my sugar intake is from too much wine. I know, Rebecca, it's funny how the last 2 years has seen us all increase our alcohol intake. But yeah, I'm feeling amazing. I really am. I'm feeling really good. So, and do you know what I've noticed since not drinking on the weekends? I have so much more time and energy on the weekends. Wow, drinking takes up time. Interesting. Amanda, is chopping up all veggies when you buy them ready for the week okay? Depends how you store them when they're chopped. It depends what vegetables they are, and it depends how quick you cook them after. So when we do it in Cooking Club, we are cooking those vegetables. Like they're being cooked and put in a meal, and then they're put in the fridge or frozen depending on what day they're due, and if they're going to be for the next day or the day after, then they're fine. So we do it that way. Build up your supplies. So this is kind of like the slide before bulk buying. Find an area that you can start storing things and build up your supplies slowly over time. So when things are on special, if it's got an expiry date, so some of the stuff I've noticed has got expiry date says 2023, but some of the stuff, if I see 2025, I'll buy it. I'll buy like a lot of it. And I find that a lot of the stuff from Costco is 2025. So I'll put it in there, and I'm very mindful of when it's going to go out of date. And look at how you can have backup food and storage, especially these times. I'm not all in for this fear mongering that's going on in this craziness, but anything that I've kind of always done it, but I've really learned over the last 2 years is I don't want to freak out. I don't want everybody to control how I feel about food. I want to know that I've got the staples, and no matter what, if anything happens, we've just got some basics and we can survive for a month. Or if anything happened and we didn't have any income for a month, we know that we've got some staples that we can live off. And there's a feeling behind that safety and security and a bit of comfort that I think. So you just slowly build that over, 6 to 12 months so that you always have something back up. The other bonus of that, imagine if you have 3 cans of tomatoes, chopped organic tomato tins in the cupboard, and you wanted to make something, it's there. But if you didn't have it and you had to go to the shops and buy it, you buy more than one thing. Whenever we go to the shops, we'll always buy more than what we want to get. So when we have the backup and it's in the cupboard, you're less likely to go to the shops. So when you do go to the shops, you go for specials and the things that you're going to actually cook. Does that make sense? So what area in your house could you make up as a bit of a backup food storage? So do you have a second pantry? Do you have stairs, like a cupboard under stairs? Do you have an extra linen cupboard? Do you have a spare room that you can put things in? Could you clean out one of your cupboards and it be a bit of a backup storage? So when certain things run out, you can replace it, and then you put the one that you replaced on the shopping list, and then you keep an eye out. So you're buying it when it's on special, not when you've run out. So I know that I have brown rice, organic brown rice in bulk, And whenever it's on special, I'll go buy some more. But I don't have to race out and pay whatever price because I know that I'm going to get it when it's on special. Shopping list makes a huge difference. Having a shopping list and sticking to the shopping list and not looking at anything else. I'm not a fan of going to the supermarket. I get only a few things from the supermarket. I'm just really not a fan. I don't believe that the stuff in the supermarket's any quality anyway. And I actually teach my clients how to food shop, because I think you can not just save money, but you can actually be shopping for stuff that's making you sick. So yeah, obviously shop for specials. Look at what you can get and where you can get it on special. It's not that hard. There are apps, there are catalogs, there are websites you can find stuff. And it's not that hard to figure it out, what's on special, and you don't even have to watch TV these days either. Research local food. So start looking at what you can get delivered to you as well. We get most of the time we try and get all our meat and sometimes seafood online, and we get that at a cheaper price if we buy it in bulk. So you do have to have freezer space, but you know, we've bought like half a lamb, and I have to ask Paul, I think it lasted us about 4 or 5 months, and that was with 4 adult sized eaters. So it really, you know, that's a lamb's not that big, you know, it actually really lasts. So, you know, there's some things that you can do, and you can see what specials they have. So you could create an account, transfer some of that money over and just save up, and then you can go do a big bulk shop for those things that are online. Do you always buy organic? I've never, but my friend always does, and my mum has started to in the UK. I always look for specials. I believe that you buy the certain foods. You can look at the, what is it called? Dirty, oh my gosh, why am I having a blank? Somebody help me. Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen, so it's the 12 worst vegetables or fruits or vegetables that have the most pesticides on them. And they're the ones that you can look at buying organic. I don't buy everything organic. I buy things from the farmers markets. And there's a certain way that I soak and wash everything. And yeah, try and see, yeah, Dirty Dozen, thanks to Neil. Yeah, try and see what you can if you want to, but you don't have to. It's obviously better to buy it, but it doesn't mean that it's in WA. Organic isn't the same, and it's really over. Yeah, Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. Go Margot, she knows it. Eat less meat. That's a great way of being able to cut costs down. A lot of people think that they don't want to eat vegetarian. Generally, they either do cleanses with me or cooking club or come to my retreats, eat vegetarian food and go, oh my God, this tastes so amazing. Why is it so good? And I'm like, do you even realize you're not eating meat? And they're like, oh, no, I didn't realize. We in Australia are a bit spoiled with the cuts of meat we use, the types of meat. We don't eat the whole animal, and there are so many costs that we can save. You know, think about how our grandmas cooked with meat that had, you know, proper fat on it. And I'm not talking about the ones from the supermarket, because the meat from supermarkets just terrible. I have no other option. I'll buy it. But it is just, when you start buying real meat, the taste difference is so different. You can't go back to supermarket meat. But yeah, look at how can you reduce the meat intake, and you'll probably find that you'll reduce some inflammation and lose some weight. So it's a great option as well. What can you swap or grow? So there in our Rebecca will agree with this one. In our suburbs, sometimes people are sharing things, and I'm like, keep an eye out for that. So especially limes, I use a lot of lemons and limes, and we don't really have to buy them because they're always left in bowls out the front of people's houses around our beautiful estate. But I know that my in-laws, they grow things. We've got herbs. So it's like, what can you share? What can you swap with people if they're growing something or what they have? Sometimes your local Facebook groups will actually advertise, like, we've got eggs, we've got chickens in the backyard. Not us, I'm just saying, like, that I'll see a post and it says that, and they're offering it like $3 for a carton of eggs because it's their chickens out the backyard. And then you can message them and ask them what their chickens eat, or go and have a look. Like, people are really interested in finding ways to make a little money on the side, and you can buy a carton of eggs for $3 instead of paying $10 that they're charging at the moment. So there are ways to do things that, yeah. I'm going way over time, so I'm going to go really fast, and I'm really sorry that I chat so much. Have a look at freezing food before it goes off. I always buy bulk bananas every week and we freeze them. So if the cost of bananas went up, I wouldn't have to freak out. I probably would, because Jaden eats so much of them. I will freeze zucchini. I'll freeze the zucchini ends and they go in my smoothies. Freeze up. You can freeze a whole avocado. You can freeze spinach. If you buy bags of spinach and it starts to wilt, don't let it go all to mush. You know, keep an eye on the stuff on the fridge and get it frozen, whether you put it in cubes or put it in pouches or whatever, and then you can still use that in cooking. There's whatever you buy fresh, you can still freeze, majority of stuff. Start looking at the shops that do offer specials, bulk, cheaper options. Aldi is a big one for offering some really cheap price stuff, and Costco as well. Make that conscious decision. Like, where are you spending your money? Sit and put a time in your calendar, 30 minutes a week, that you are going to work out how you're going to save money with your food. How can you buy things that are on special, or buy them in bulk, or how can you make your meals easier? And eat accordingly. You know, I'm a big advocate for, you are going to feel, think, and behave the way you are eating. Whatever you put in there is exactly what's going to come out. Get more food and health knowledge. Figure out what actually suits your body type. Are you eating foods that suit you? Are you eating foods that give you energy? Because you could be wasting your money on food that doesn't even suit you. Could be creating inflammation, could be making you irritable, could be affecting your hormones. So many things. So what are you doing to support you? And, you know, really get back in line with it. If health and food is important to you, how can you save costs? And obviously, always, how can you improve yourself daily? How can you be jumping up in the air, jumping out of bed? How do you do that? You do it through food. It's eating the right food. I think it's one of the most important things that you can do, is really looking at what you put in your body. And yes, you can do it without spending heaps of money. Have a look at how you can save it, because a lot of the times we know the answers to these things, right? We do know these. Lots of lemons and limes around us, I know. Yeah. No, I love my meat. So Amanda, you might find that you're eating too much meat, and you might be just that you are thinking that eating vegetarian is going to be hard. And I'm not saying to go vegetarian. I'm just saying, can you replace some of those? Can you replace some of those foods with some, or just putting a whole lot less? So the way portion size for meat should be quite small, and a lot of times we're making really big portions that we don't need. So I feel like tonight has been super powerful for you. Hopefully you will have got lots of ideas. If this is the sort of stuff that you are interested in learning and really up-leveling in, my lives are going to start being about 15 to 20 minutes on a Tuesday night, because I'm actually going to be doing big things like I have tonight in Healthy Empowered Women's Society. They're going to be for the Healthy Empowered Women's Society ladies. It's women only, because I really want to be able to give back to them as much as possible. So if this is super informative and you can see how you would really benefit from it, check out the link that's in the comments. If you have any questions about Healthy Empowered Women's Society, yeah, let me know, send me a message. Thank you to the women that have already joined up. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. It is going to be amazing. I love community. I'm sure you do. And I'm here to inspire you. That's like, I feel like my mission in life is to inspire you. So when I'm feeling inspired, I'm a very good inspirer. So yeah, I think we can find that I love veg, but I love meat. Yeah. There's so much to learn there, right? There's, oh gosh, there's so many things I could say. But anyway, I wanted to let you all know that I would love you to check out the new Healthy Empowered Women Society. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please keep commenting on here. If you find anything, like any specials, if you have any ideas, or if something that you haven't shared, pop it in here. I'd love to hear it, because you're going to help all the women that joined tonight as well. And it means a lot to everybody to be able to know, you know, that we can share as women and conquer these silly price rises of stuff, especially fuel. Oh my gosh. And if anyone is happy to share their power bill secretly or publicly, I'd love to know, because I feel like they've made a mistake with my power bill. It's so annoying. But anyway, I really appreciate, I have to go now. I should come knock on your door. No problem. Take care. Thank you so much, ladies, and I will see you all later. Bye.